Hey guys, Ladris here. I'm back this time with a review on Odin Central Blow. So let's just get started. Odin Central Blow is marketed as a attack type bay from Takratomi. It comes with two new parts, Odin and Blow, and Central we had with Kirbyus. So I have mixed feelings about um, Odin Central Blow. So let's just get started with each of the parts. So let's talk about the disc first because this is the recycled part. Um, I didn't say it when I did the unboxing video. I almost said it, but I didn't. The second I took this out, for me it seemed very different than the one that came with my Kirbyus. Here's my Kirbyus and here's my Odin. Well, obviously, Odin's is a lot shinier because it still hasn't been used as much as Kirbyus's has. Um, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell it. For me, it almost looks a little bit thinner in some way. I mean, yeah, you can sort of see it's a little bit like thinner. Let me just line it a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. It looks a little bit thinner than the first one. Um, it still has the two like little screw things over here, the little detail, and it still has this. But what really shows how it's a little bit different, and maybe it's a different mode, is when you go in the bottom, you can sort of see, and maybe it's not picking up good on the camera, but it's a lot thinner around here somehow, like on this edge, as opposed to with previous. I don't know if that's just me or what, but also right around here, it's also a little bit different, as you can see right there. So see, this is actually, you can see it better here. It's a little bit thicker than it is compared to the Odin's. As you can see, Odin, better view. So yeah, it's a little bit thinner. And also for some people who don't know, the stars, it just changes. For example, the placement of the stars on this central is different than over here. But that's just mostly like for, at least I think it is for that, when if you have two of the same parts and they're not painted or anything, then you'll know which one's yours because of the star placement. But that shouldn't really be an issue for most people. But that also gives a little bit more of a cool thing, I guess. So I'm not gonna really talk much about Central other than what I said on my Kirby's review. It's not one of the best parts, but it can be okay for some combinations, but it's not the best part. Moving on, now we get to the actual other two parts, the two new parts, and this is where my mixed feelings come in. When Blow, let's look at Blow first. When Blow was announced, this bay was sort of marketed as like it's aiming to make a lot of burst happens because of the Blow and because of Odin. It doesn't really do that. First we have the cool B logo, which kind of looks a lot like the Bay Pit logo from the Metal Saga, which is really cool because I like the way that they drew that B. Well, first it's a really nice deep blue color, which I really like. And as you can see, it's not really a flat like Axel is. It's more like a sharp flat or like a spike flat. Here's a comparison to Excel. I think there was a similar tip to the Metal Saga. I just forgot to go get one. I'm sorry. Anyway, um, this. Okay, so if we're comparing it between the two, I would definitely prefer Excel because it moves around the stadium a lot more aggressive, um, as opposed to Blow. Blow, it's good for some combinations. Actually, it's a very good driver. But the way that it was hyped up to be kind of doesn't meet up to that, but it still is a good driver. Basically, because of the sharp, um, sort of like a sharp flat, it does move around the stadium, like an attack type should, but not as aggressive as Excel. It's more like a balance type, tip, or sorry, a balance type driver. So it, it's good that it has way more stamina than Excel does. Um, every battle I did with an Excel driver, the Excel driver sort of ran out of stamina fast, but the Blow driver kept the bay up for a lot longer. So it has good stamina. And with that said, because it's not as aggressive as it should be, it doesn't really have as much like aggressiveness, so it's not gonna be doing as much damage as it with an Excel would, for example. So it has its up and downs. It still is a really good driver. I'm just a little disappointed because I thought it would be a little bit different. So, but it still is very, very good. I just don't like it with Odin, and I'm about to get to that in a minute. So, Odin, for those of you who don't know, it's the Norse mythology god, like the father of Thor. So, um, yeah, so he's really cool. I really like the design we have here, and then of the shield, and I like how they sort of put like a third shield on the driver indicator port in the circle, instead of like just leaving it with very little detail, like a chain going around it, or just like nothing, kind of like most of the early ones have. It's just mostly nothing, it's just a circle. So I'm glad that this centerpiece here is kind of detailed now. Actually, that Scyther was a little bit detailed, and really it's just Death Scyther and Kirby's that was detailed a little bit. And I guess you could say Valkyrie too because of the feathers, but not really. So I'm glad that they're doing this, and with the upcoming base that we have seen pictures of, they've been doing a lot more cool stuff with this, so that's really cool. Anyway, so I like that. I like the color. The stickers are really cool. Except that even though that this was marketed as an attack type, it is not that good for attack. It is oval, as you can see, and yes, I did try Odin oval and whatever driver, just because it's a fun little thing, but it's not that good. Anyway, Odin itself is it's a really good layer for defense. It's not as good as Kirby's or the Scythers. These two layers are still the best layers for me. It comes a little bit close to Wyvern, but Wyvern is better in an attack combo than Odin is. And Odin, what is good about Odin though, that I will like, that blew my mind when I was testing it out with like defense combos and stuff. Odin is actually pretty good at deflecting bays. Like if a base over here, just because the way that it's shaped, as you can see, it'll go here, and then it has sort of like a little bump, and then like a big drop right over here, and then sort of like a nudge right here, and then it continues. Because of this and the oval shape, it's very good at deflecting a bay. So see, it will do the bump, and then when it gets hit over here, then starts to the other side because it's smooth, that'll help deflect it. So it does a good job at really deflecting bays, and most of the battles that I had done with Odin that it won was by deflecting the bay away. So I really like it as a defense layer. I'm just a little bit upset that Takratomi marketed it as an attack type, but it really isn't, you know. Valkyrie is still a better attack layer. Even Wyvern's a better attack layer. Spriggan, it's a little bit better. I'm not a big fan of Spriggan as an attack, I guess. For me, it just bursts a lot. I barely use Spriggan, so I should probably do that because I know that Spriggan is good. And Ragnarok's Ragnarok. I like Ragnarok, but it's Ragnarok, so anyway, overall, even though it's very good at deflecting, it's better at deflecting than Wyvern. I don't think it's a good layer to be used as an attack. I think a balance with more leading towards defense on the balance than an attack type. So overall, Odin's actually very good. Again, and I know that with testing, like for example, Death Scyther, it was labeled as an attack type. It's a pretty good attack type, but it's also a very good defense and stamina type. So it's actually a little bit better as a defense and stamina type. So, I mean, the way that Takratomi markets it is true to some extent. But for the Scyther, I was really for Odin, I was really let down because I just feel like none of these is really an attack type. I just wish that they would have labeled it as a balance type because it's a balance of a defense with an attack. So, you know, but overall, I'm not disappointed at it. It has some great parts. I'm just more upset with the fact that Takratomi really just said it's an attack type, but it's more of a balance. And I know people will be saying, oh, but you can't trust that because each part is different. Yes, but like I said, to some extent, what Takratomi says is sort of true, but for this one, not at all. It's mostly a defense type with an attack, with a balanced driver leading towards mostly towards attack than stamina. But overall, everyone should get Odin because it is really good for defense. Again, like Wyvern is better at an attack defense than Odin is. Odin's better as a stamina defense. So you can make a really good balance combo with Odin. So Odin is a bay everyone should get because he's just awesome. So yeah, sorry this video was a little bit long. It sort of just wanted to say all that. My next unboxing will be probably Horosuro. Maybe one of the sets too, I'm not sure, but definitely Horosuro. So I still have to get that and a few other bays in the mail too. So, but anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.